Let's go. Housewives of Potomac, season 10, episode 10. Blunt Truths. Child, Gizelle and Ashley boring, so they just keep fighting with Stacey. They ain't got nothing else going on. But let's discuss anyway. The first thing we see is Gizelle fake shopping for a truck with Wendy. I'm like, now y'all buddy. Girl, and it's a white man in the back seat, but I digress or whatever. So Wendy is like, I feel like Stacey be copying people because when she sees something she likes, she copies it. Okay, she copied my happy Eddie stuff or whatever. She tried to even get my style to style her. So again, it's harmless. I don't care. I'm not beefing with Stacey or whatever. It is what it is. That Gizelle is like, well, she's a big fat liar. Okay, I feel like Stacey is a liar. She's sneaky. Well, you would know, Gizelle. You've been lying and sneaking for tea. It's weird to me that Gizelle has been sneaky, has been lying, has been a conniving snake, a green-eyed bandit for 10 whole years. She acts as if she is this innocent little dove and she has the right to call anybody else out. I still feel like Stacey don't be lying. She just sometimes tell half truths. Or she just be like, look, I didn't take Happy Eddie. I don't have a weed line. I have gummies. You know, I have, marijuana gummies. It's not what Eddie does. It's something different. So again, when I say she don't lie, I mean she's not telling a full out lie. She's just not admitting the full out truth to stuff. And I'm like, it be harmless stuff. Not nothing real. Like Gizelle, you lied on Chris and say you tried to get at you. And you was like, I'm just saying, Gizelle tell more lies and is more sneaky and conniving than Stacey could ever be that we know of. Okay, as we know of. Now again, they both also say it's cool to have Monique back. Because it's been 5 years. And Gizelle said, well, if she gonna be back, it has to be like a little conversation to clear. But we'll get into that in 1 second. Child, Ashley did not have nothing. So she chose to break up with Josh on camera. Now, we have not even seen her date him on camera. We've seen them like once or twice. She used Josh to give herself something to discuss. And I'm like, Josh, I will say, no, I don't want to meet you on camera. If we can't hang out in real life, I don't want you here. Josh felt like, are we good? It's a little date. She bringing me on camera. That's a good thing. But no, Ash is like, you know what? I just think, I have kids. I don't think I want more kids. If I did want more kids, I would want to have them within the next year or two. And I don't think you have enough money to be able to afford children, okay? Because children take more than just like a connection. You need the money, okay? And I don't think your money is quite there. He said, well, you don't even know my finances. So what do you mean? I'm good. Okay. Well, also because I feel like, saying, we haven't really done anything. Like, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying, babe? We haven't even gone on a trip. He said, I just asked you to come meet me in Pittsburgh. Not meet me. Let's take a trip to Pittsburgh. She said, yeah, but that's Pittsburgh. She said, we haven't done like a international trip. He was like, why do we have to go on an international trip to prove we're dating? So he did not see the right and the law. But again, she's like, you're a great guy, but for someone else. Ashley wants a sugar daddy. Ashley is a sugar baby. She wants a rich old man to pay her money. That's it. She might get a young rich man, but she don't want anybody who's regular. And I don't think Josh was maybe broke. He just wasn't as rich as she was like. But I was like, Josh, you dodged a bullet. A full-fledged bullet. Okay? And I think because some mama been with the alcoholic man who broke for the past 30 years, she has PTSD on what her mama's going through. And so I don't need no poor man. I need a man who can support me and pay my way. Unlike my mama. There's a quick scene with her and her little sister. So her Ashley little sister is the child of said deadbeat alcoholic boyfriend of her mama. And the sister's like going away to college. And she was very emotional because, again, we're having a conversation about, deadbeat people, non-working people. alcoholic people my daddy. And I get how when someone's been doing something for 40, 50 years, it's hard for them to change. Even if you want them to, and it's hurtful to the family, I get that he's just, it's hard. And it's hard because for her, it's her daddy. But your daddy ain't shit. But you're great. Ass begin using other people. Because what else she got going on? Because your sister, daddy, ain't your business. Okay? Ain't your business. We do see the sit down between Monique and Gizelle. I have to say, it was horrible. I have to say, as much as they hyped it up to make it seem as if they had a great conversation for hours, they talked about everything. We got maybe a 2 minute scene, maybe 3 minutes in or whatever. And for the most part, it was Monique saying, have been working on myself, my healing journey, and I realized how much I contributed to, certain situations and whatnot, I'm saying. And, I did some shit, but you did shit too. When you did this much stuff or whatever, called my husband big boy, insinuated I was having an affair with a trainer. So she's pointing out stuff that Gizelle did while also holding herself accountable. But I was like, Gizelle barely said what she did. Now, on what happened live, Monique did say they cut out a lot of what Gizelle said. They cut out a lot of her apologizing to Monique or whatever. They put a lot on the cutting room floor, and I'm like, why? This should have been a longer scene. We should have fully saw Gizelle own her part, and to me, Gizelle more still kind of blame Monique. Well, you were in a bad place or whatever. You know what I'm saying, and you were the one. I just didn't like the scene. I didn't. Even her saying, you were going for things that I saw, I noticed, and you were kind of projecting. I feel bad as well. You know what I'm saying? Even when Monique said, I felt bad seeing your daughter recently because I know the things I said about her father. And I'm like, the fact that we did not see Gizelle say, I feel bad for me also insinuating that your child is not Chris's child. Because that had to be hard for them to hear too. And not seeing Gizelle say sorry for the same stuff that she did to Monique. It really aggravated me. Now, they ended it on a good note with them both saying, hey, we can be shady, but to each other's face. And Monique did say, so much built up on me or whatever. I just kind of blew up. Because Gizelle said, I felt like you really wanted the fight to happen at the barn with Candace. And we said, well, I didn't want it to happen. However, a lot had just built up and built up and built up. And I just, okay. So, I mean, was it a constructive conversation? Because they both left smiling and, at least on the same page. But I just felt like we did not get enough of Gizelle holding herself accountable. And that, to me, is trash. That's it. Seeing Greg go fake ring shopping with Kieran Mama and Angel was crazy to me. I was like, but he didn't buy no ring. Why y'all film a ring shopping scene and he ain't buy no ring? What was the point? For what? You know what I'm saying? He looked at a couple of rings. I think one was like maybe 6 carats, cost about like 200 grand. And he was like, oh, I'll get something later. I'm just looking today. That's really it. Because he said at the end of the day, Kay will like whatever I give her. And he said it in a way that meant if I give her a lollipop ring, a ring pop, okay, a twin pop, she'll love it. And I'm like, why would you not make this a moment? Again, he not gonna marry her. Now, I don't know if they're engaged now. I have no idea. I don't feel like he really wants to marry her. Okay? Run. We then see that Eddie has a pop-up shop, so him and Wendy's there, and she brings up how, I'm happy that, Stacey did not invite me to her weed event because she's already stolen all of my information for her business, so we don't need her here. It was real, it was just, them at a space selling some weed. They keep bringing up how Stacey took the idea and Stacey copied Happy Eddie. I feel like Eddie was not the first person to sell weed. I feel like Stacey choosing to do, weed gummies, it's not her copying Happy Eddie. It's smart. Now could she have possibly been inspired because, oh, if he can do it, I can do it too? Yes, but I'm like, Eddie did not have no, the secret sauce to weed selling. Oh, she stole the recipe to make gum. No, she got in a field a lot of other people are in, and she has gummies, and y'all have weed. Girl, to me, even the comparison is like if we got Pepsi, Coca Cola, Hawaiian Punch, okay, we got Wonder Bread and regular bread, we got Nike and Reebok and it is. If it's all different kinds of stuff, you can't make it seem like someone copied you when you was not the first weed seller in the world. Okay? Girl, miss me with the bullshit. Now, Stacey's event for her, I think it's called Shio Business or whatever. Again, she sells gummies, and it's gummies, and it's just two flavored gummies. Okay, Gizelle, Kay, and Angel did not come because they haters, hating assholes. Timo wasn't there either. I think they need to stop feeling like he gonna show up. He don't want to film. I feel like Timo won't show up to film for the 2 seasons. I think he just doesn't want to be involved in the bullshit. He allows Stacey to be in the bullshit, and that's really it. Now Ash came there and child, she said, "Oh, Stacey, I wore that dress last week. Did she see you in it?" Anyway, but you came in with her hair. So again, it's a, oh look, she copies us. Let me copy her. Get out my face, Ashley. Now, Stacey said, "Hey, Ashley, let's talk, okay?" She walked over to the side. I was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?" So what happened? Stacey like, Ashley, look, Wendy had no issue with me. Monique had no issue with me. And you keep trying to fuss with me over this weed line that you have nothing to do with. And over the Chris bullshit, which you also have nothing to do with. So if Monique and Wendy have no issue, you should not either. So how can we move forward without you coming around here and being negative? Well, stop lying, Stacey. And again, when Ashley said, I won't have any issues as long as you stop being a lying asshole, I said, now why would you say that? Your mama. Your mama. Okay? That would have been your mama's a lying asshole response for me. Because why? Again, Ashley has nothing else going on. So she's harping on this. Stacey's a liar. Girl, didn't you lie for your husband? For seasons upon seasons? We've seen you lie too. Mm-hmm. So again, let the non-liar cast the first stone. No one can throw no rocks. But again, I mean, when they say lying asshole, who's a lying asshole? Again, Stacey, let girl check these holes, okay? So she said, look, if you stop lying, I'll stop doing my stuff, whatever. Oh, stop being messy, Ashley. Stop being evil. Stop being negative. She will never stop being who she is. Ashley is a mean, evil, spiteful, jealous person. Because she's is she a pygmy? I think she's a pygmy. Girl, stop wanting to get picked, okay? Because again, I would have cussed you out and called out all you or your ex-husband's lying ass antics, okay? So again, they kind of move on from that. Well, while sitting around or whatever, and he say, for the past 10 years, I've been in this group, and I've been my authentic self as much as I can be. That's the only way for us to kind of, grow as a group, and we wish you, girl, shut up. We still don't know much about your life. We still do not know much about you. Okay, cool, Abby, that's fine, Abby. Tia, when Stacey said, girl, forget you, Abby, Tia. This Tia and Stacey back and forth beef had me cracking up. Mainly because she was like, Tia, you're a wannabe. Well, no, what she said first was like, I, introduced you to my husband because, I felt like you didn't have any preconceived notions or whatever. But when you invited us to dinner, I said no. I turned down, the dinner, whatever. And that had nothing to do with Wendy. So I don't like the fact that you went telling Wendy shit that really didn't have anything to do with her. The last time Timu was around, the girl Timu was around. No, she said the last time he saw Wendy and Eddie was at the reunion scene, and them accusing me of lying about TJ. So he doesn't really like see it for them yet, okay? But bottom line, leave us be. Leave us alone. And they're fussing back and forth. And my thing is this: I get her point in saying, you asked me to dinner. I said no. For whatever the reason was, no matter what the reason I couldn't go was, I said no. And you want to kind of hold my feet to the fire about why I did not show up. It shouldn't matter. I didn't want to go. I did not want to go. And now it's this I'm lying thing and really I just did not want to go and hang out with Wendy and Eddie and you and your husband. And my husband didn't either. So that's really it, okay? So they're fussing back and forth about it. And I mean yelling. And when Tia got loud, oh, whatever, you're... whatever, go back and forth in it. But when Stacey was like, see, this is the real her. She's not our prim and proper, okay? Yes, I am Detroit. I'm gonna need folk to stop using the Detroit thing as if it's an insult. Like, Detroit is not this hood ghetto place. So when y'all try to use it in an insult way, it makes me want to punch you in the face. Detroit born and raised, okay? So that whole, whatever Detroit, what does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean? Okay? Anyway, they're back and forth in it. And then, well, whatever, Stacey, shut up. Shut up, Stacey. Don't tell me to shut up. You know what? Get out, okay? Toodles, toots. I was like, not toodles, okay? She literally put Tia out. And I'm not mad about it. You know what I'm saying? Do I feel like she just was upset over all the bullshit? Yes. Do I feel like Tia caught it? Yes. I was just fussing with Ashley. Now I'm fussing with you. I'm tired of you hoes coming for me and calling me a liar when I'm not. At the end of the day, bitch, I did not want to hang out with you, your husband, Happy Eddie, and Felon Wendy. Okay, leave me be, bitch. Okay, toodles. Okay, you're a try-hard, Tia. You're a try-hard like your outfits. I was like, not her outfits. I love Stacey. I do. Until Stacey tells a dangerous lie that can affect someone, I'm not tripping about her in the way. Girl, I don't care. Read all these hoes. Detroit 313 all day. What up, though? I gotta go. That was it. Bye.